Hey beautiful people, welcome back. Today we are going to do things a little differently. I just want to tune in to what I have been going through recently, and I know that what I'm experiencing is also a lot of what the collective is experiencing. So a big thing that has been coming up for me recently is pivoting and honoring the changes that we continuously go through and the growth that we experience, and how that can sometimes be really, really difficult, but also just so beautiful. To continue to open up our hearts, whether it's getting into a new relationship or ending a relationship, finding new friends, even getting a new job and having different co-workers around and forming that new kind of family, hopefully more of like a family environment. It can be so hard to just keep opening yourself to these people. And it's also just one of the most beautiful things about life. I believe that as humans, we are multidimensional beings. So we have come here in a physical body for a human experience, but I believe that we are tied to so many other places, and whether that's like lifetimes even on this earth, or tied to the experiences of our grandparents and ancestors, also tied to who our spirit animals are and our guardians in this life. And so many experiences kind of come together for this one moment, this moment that you're sitting there watching this, I'm sitting here recording this for you. It's just so amazing that so many things come together for this to be a possibility, for this moment to even exist. So it's currently the 11th of January 2021 when I'm recording this. There's so much unknown about this year and what's going to happen and what good is going to come from it and what challenges we're going to experience as an individual and as a collective. It's really just something that we can't know until it happens. We can't plan for it. We just have to live in this moment and embody our truth as much as we possibly can, and just enjoy life. Just enjoy it moment to moment and enjoy each day as if it's a completely new day, a completely new opportunity, because it is. Really what I'm going to focus on this year. I have so many plans and a big vision for where I want to take this channel and my TikTok channel, and keep working on my Instagram and just forming a community of beautiful, like-minded people, entrepreneurs, musicians, artists, whatever you identify with. Just a beautiful community of people that can talk to each other and connect on stuff, on like real stuff, help each other find a more balanced, embodied way of living. Support is so incredible. I know when I was going through my spiritual awakening, I didn't quite have support. Definitely didn't have it from my family and the people who I was friends with at the time. The last 5 years, I feel like I have lived so many different lives almost, and I'm beginning to see them as chapters. But before my spiritual awakening, it was definitely like a whole different existence. It was a whole different me. I don't even recognize the person that was there, the spirit that was in my body. There were definitely parts of my childhood and my adolescence where I had little tidbits of my truth come out. Moments of being able to meditate and recognize that I wanted to do yoga and I wanted to have more deep conversations. But for the most part, I was completely numb. I was completely not myself. It's honestly like still hard to talk about. I can't believe that I did that to my body. I can't believe I used to drink until I blacked out every single night. I barely have a drop now at all. I just love enjoying life sober, and I will probably talk about that more as we go on. And going through a spiritual awakening is hard as fuck. Like, I totally support you and feel for you if you're going through that stage, or even just going through like a next level of it, because there's always different levels that we're going to go through. And as I said, different chapters, but with each of those chapters comes the next version of you, the next version of your truth that wants to come out. And the truth that you are meant to embody in this lifetime, and the lessons that you are supposed to embody and bring onto this earth and help other people with, it's always going to feel like a challenge because it's scary to be that vulnerable. It's scary to stand in your truth and to open to change and to be that change. Like, I know there's this thing about be the change that you want to see in the world, and 100% yes. But what people don't talk about enough is how difficult it can be and how the lack of support can cripple a person in that stage. It's like you're a snake shedding your skin, and you get halfway and you're kind of like, you're not in the old skin, you're not yet in the new, and it's kind of like this middle point, and you just have to surrender to the process and just keep going and keep tuning in and keep embodying your truth, and eventually the past sheds itself to a point where you just don't even recognize that person, that old skin, and it's so incredible. It can be super challenging. So I really want to get out more content that's going to help you guys through this process. I don't quite know what it's going to look like yet, but I'm just going to keep doing it. Any particular topics that you have that you want me to cover, please leave a comment down below and let me know. And obviously subscribe and turn the notification bell on. I don't have a set schedule at the moment when I'm uploading, so turning that notification bell on will just let you know when I upload, and then you won't miss a thing. The most important part of pivoting is to stay embodied, to stay in the process, to surrender to whatever is going on, and to also stay clear on what it is that you're calling in. Get clear with what you're thinking, with what you say, with what you consume through social media, with the people that you hang out with and the people that you talk to, the people that you give your energy to, the music you listen to, the art you look at, the places that you go, the food that you eat. Becoming more plant-based is definitely something that helps so many people through this process. A lot of people, when they come through their spiritual awakening, realize that we need to eat more plants, and that is better for our bodies. And everybody is different, but to go from what in Australia is predominantly just meat and dairy and carbs, that's basically our diet as we grow up, unless we have really sick ass parents, to go away from that and to start eating more from the earth and eating more organic and wholesome and whole food. Drink more high vibe water, to not drink the fucking tap water because it's absolutely disgusting, and there is just so much crap in there that your body does not want, that is just making us sick. Just dumbing down our truth, honestly. If we keep consuming things that are harmful to us spiritually, physically, and mentally and emotionally, it just stops our truth from coming out. It really makes it that much harder to stand in our bodies and stand for what we believe in. So when it comes to pivoting, there are a few tools that I always come back to, and it never feels easy. I'm definitely in a transitional phase at the moment, which is another word for it. Definitely to have more time to yourself. If you can't get off social media, you want to stay on it because of certain people that uplift you and do support you through the process. Unfollow all the ones that don't lift you up. If you feel obligated to keep them as a following or whatever, mute their stories, mute their posts, so that energetics is still there, but you don't have to actually consume it. If I'm especially in a place where I'm looking to a vision and I'm not quite in it physically yet, it does help me so much to consume content from creators that are in that place. It almost like keeps me accountable, and they become my expanders, almost my guides that are there and are showing me that it is possible to have everything that I desire, to have the life that really fulfills me, because at the end of the day, that is what we all need to be striving for. It needs to be the focus of mental health, like to have support around us, to have real conversations, to have a life that is by our own design. Everyone is so different, and everyone creates in different ways, is interested in different things, and everybody has a different schedule. Some people are morning people, some people are night people, and we need to be able to design our lives to work around that, so that we're not trying to fit into tiny, tiny little boxes that have never been good for us and continue to be so detrimental to our health, especially the normal 9 to 5, or what is now like 8 to 6, 5 or 6 days a week job in a little office cubicle. And for some people that is perfect for them and they love it and they thrive off that, but for the most part it doesn't work for most of us. Trying to fit into a box has never worked. You think of going back to high school or primary school or even preschool, a lot of places are still trying to teach a curriculum that is just made for one child that is probably their ideal child in their mind, but it doesn't actually work for most of them. And that's why kids get bullied, and it's why kids get left behind. Everybody has a different genius, and we need to start as a collective society to appreciate that. It gets to me so much when people have a genius that is artistry, or being a musician, or being a poet, or creating content, running a wholesome business, or running a yoga studio, or being a teacher. So many people have these great visions and amazing talents, and they never do anything with it because of the pressure that society puts upon us. And it's just absolutely nuts to me. And I know that it's changing, but it also just needs to be a topic that we talk about more. So here we are. Another thing that needs to be normalized is to be able to pivot multiple times in one lifetime. It's so okay to have all these beautiful, deep chapters of our existence in one lifetime. We don't have to stick to one for the rest of our life, because we are always growing. It's our natural state. We are always expanding as human beings. We need to honor that. It's the same with having chapters where you need more rest, chapters where you just want to hustle for 22 hours of the day. Like, there are definitely times where I just want to hustle, and then I'll have like a month where I just need to rest and listen to some really beautiful grounding podcasts and do a couple of medicine journeys or whatever else it is. We're not linear beings. Like, especially as women, we're literally cyclical beings. Like, we go through a cycle every single month, and we go through what a lot of people call a spring, summer, autumn, winter, because we do. We go through this unfolding and release and shedding and rest and so many different things in one month, and it happens every single month. But even with that, there are months where I just want to rest for most of it. A lot of the times that is how my ideas come through. That is how my growth comes through. That is how a new level of perspective on my life comes through. And then the next month I might just have everything click into place because I spent that time resting. Whereas if I just kept trying to push, I would have not been listening to my body. I would have had to shut off a lot of the things that it was trying to say to me. Because of that, I wouldn't have been able to connect to my intuition as well as I could when I was resting and get all of those juicy tidbits of information and guidance and stuff that she's trying to tell me. It's the same with having different people in your life. You can have friends that are in your life for a lifetime, and sometimes you're not quite close with them when you're going through something and they're in a different kind of stage, and then you come back together. Sometimes you have friends that you are so close with for a short amount of time, and it's like you've been best friends for lifetimes, but it only lasts a short amount of time for whatever reason. And that's also okay. You don't have to keep people in our close circle for longer than they're supposed to be there for. By letting go, it also allows them to explore their new level of growth and their new vibration with other people, and obviously allows you to do the same. It's also the same with having different lovers or a different kind of partner or partners in your life. We go through chapters where we need different things. We need maybe a more gentle energy, someone that is more of a homebody, and then other times we'll want to just go on mad adventures around the world with them and create stuff, or maybe have someone that's more on their own so you can also have that time for yourself. It's really just about embodying our truth each and every day and knowing that it's continuously changing, And that is the beautiful, beautiful part of life. I would not change it for the world. It is literally just so, so divine. But it's also, as I said, something that is still challenging to me. And I'm currently in a transition and I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want to place my footing, I guess, over the next year, and how exactly I want to build. I have visions, but I also know that the visions change as they need to. Like, I'm never going to push something if everything is telling me that it's not meant to be. To some people, that looks like scattered energy. And of course, sometimes it can be. But if you just stay grounded in your truth and know that you have you, and just respect everybody around you. If you're going through a transition with a friendship group, for example, or a new job or a new house, whatever it is, just respect people and have open conversations and just communicate with them about what's going on for you. Obviously at a time where they can hold space for it and listen and just see what unfolds, because having those conversations can be the difference between keeping a friend in your life forever while you transition and the difference between losing them forever because there was a lack of communication and this whole ghosting thing comes in. Just talk to the people you love and talk to yourself and journal and really just tune in. I know a lot of people are going to be going through this kind of transition over the next year. As a collective, we're going through a massive, massive change. And just know that I am here for you every step of the way. Whatever I can do, just please reach out. Leave a comment if you have a topic that you want me to discuss more, or maybe some of my personal stories that you want me to open up more about. This is really a community and it's really a place for you guys to ask me as well. So please just feel free to reach out on any of my socials. I'll link everything below. At the moment, I am uploading a lot to my TikTok. I'm finding it's just super, super raw and a great place for me to just blurt stuff out that I feel the collective needs to hear, that can hopefully reach you and make a difference to some of your lives. I hope you have a beautiful week and I will see you hopefully in a few days or a week's time. Mwah.